Good morning, students. Today's topic is uniform circular motion. So first we consider one uniform circular motion. A body goes from position, suppose A to B. Then when it goes from the position A to B, then this particular displacement is your linear displacement, which is represented by del S. And these two position makes a particular angle. Okay. So these two position makes an angle with the center of this particular circular path. So then this angular displacement, this angle is known as angular displacement. It means the angle swept out by the radius vector. So these are the two radius. So the angle, so in between these two radius, one angle is present, which is your angular displacement. If we consider one tangent at the point A, so then this one is your velocity. Okay. So similarly, if we consider another tangent at the point B, then this one is your velocity at the point B. So if you observe in the diagram, V1 is the velocity at the point A, V2 is the velocity at the point B. In case of uniform circular motion, these two have two different directions, and because of that they are representing two different velocities, but their magnitude is same. It means their value is same. It means the speed remains constant, but the velocity varies in case of uniform circular motion. So these two velocities V1 and V2, so makes the same angle as that of the angular displacement. And this one is your change in velocity. Okay. So which is represented by del V. If you take this particular triangle, then this one is your del S, which is the linear displacement. This one is your angular displacement. These are your radius vector. So if you take the parallax method, then by parallax method we have del S is equals to R del theta. Okay, del S is equals to R del theta. Let del t be the time taken by the body to cover the distance A to B. And suppose we divide this particular equation by del t. If we divide this equation by del t, then so del S by del t equals to R del theta by del t. So del S, it means the displacement divided by time interval. Angular displacement divided by the time interval. So this one gives you the velocity, the rate of change of displacement, gives you the linear velocity, and the rate of change of angular displacement gives you the angular velocity, which is represented by omega. Okay. So V equals to R omega. So this is the relation in between velocity, linear velocity, and the angular velocity. But velocity is also a vector quantity. Velocity is a vector quantity. Then this multiplication must be the vector product. It does not represent a scalar product, because if it is a scalar product, then this particular quantity becomes scalar quantity. So it is a vector multiplication. Then if we represent vectorially, then this is the representation of linear velocity in terms of angular velocity in vector notation. Okay. So omega cross R, not R cross omega, because when you take R cross omega, this one gives you the direction which is opposite to the direction of linear velocity. So practically we have that omega cross R gives you the actual direction of the linear velocity. Similarly, V equals to R omega. And if we differentiate this particular equation, then we have dV by dt equals to R represent the radius, so it is a constant. So d omega by dt. So dv by dt gives you the acceleration. What type of acceleration? Linear acceleration. Rate of change of linear velocity. And the rate of change of angular velocity gives you the angular acceleration, which is represented